Up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be reviewing a video from the Lionel B show. It's entitled 50 Cent Warns Why Snoop Dogg is Next. Feds talking out the documentary. Now, I don't know how Snoop got brought into this, but let's check it out. Let's see what's going on, man. Let's see.
Today, we're talking about something that is happening right in front of our faces, and nobody in the mainstream media wants to touch it. Now, we need to talk about the silence, the deafening, uncharacteristic, and frankly terrifying silence of Calvin Brodus, better known as Snoop Dogg. Now, we all know Snoop. He's the internet uncle. He's the guy who comments on everything. If a cat falls off a roof in a viral video, Snoop has a commentary on it. Now, if there's a new snack food, Snoop is reviewing it. If the Olympics are on, Snoop is there holding the damn torch. He's arguably the most online celebrity of his generation. This dude lives on IG, and he lives for the engagement. But recently, something shifted. The atmosphere changed, and it happened the exact moment 50 Cent dropped his hip-hop shakeup on Netflix. I'm talking about the documentary, The Reckoning. Now, this documentary didn't just drop. It actually exploded. It hit #1 in the US, it hit #1 in the UK, and it has the entire industry shaking. Everyone is talking about it. The blogs are on fire. Twitter is in a frenzy, and 50 Cent right now is doing victory laps. And Snoop Dogg, the man who usually has a joke or a meme for every situation, he went dark. Complete radio silence regarding documentary. No support, no defense, no jokes, nada. And you have to ask yourself, why? Why would the most vocal man in hip-hop suddenly lose his voice? Is it just awkwardness? Is it loyalty? Or is it fear? Because the report's coming out now, and we are going to break down every single one of them today. Suggest that Snoop isn't just being quiet to be polite. He's being quiet because he might be next.
Snoop most likely probably being quiet because he don't want to get his brand tied up with it, the image, that would be bad for business. So he's staying neutral, staying out of it. That don't mean because he's not saying anything that he's guilty of some kind of trafficking or whatever the narrative's being set. Okay, that doesn't mean that. It means that his people probably advise him, hey, you stay clear of this. Like I'm pretty sure many other celebrities, because you haven't heard anybody. Well, it's a few people, came out into his defense. I mean, a very few. But you haven't heard many people come to his defense. Why? Because they don't want their brand tied up with this.
What could this mean for the U.S., for fans, if Snoop Dogg is actually implicated? Because I know there's been talk about him being on some actual videos. What do you think that would look like if he was brought up in the cases as well?
Personally, it wouldn't shock me. I think that Snoop's PR team has really made him look good, just like a trustworthy neighborhood guy. His alliance with Martha Stewart, I mean, they've really painted him out over the past almost 10 years, I'd say, to be a different figure. And as somebody who lived in Long Beach for a long time, I mean, people idolize Snoop. But unfortunately, he is tied in timelines, in videos, and evidence to Sean Combs. And if we just look back at his life, it's not as clean as what we remember, what we see right now in the media.
Right. Yeah, people around our age, man, we remember the old Snoop getting into everything, but it's like, I guess the newer generation, they're seeing him from a different light than like the early 90s, and we saw him, on trial for murder and different things like that. We know the real Snoop. Now, we are talking about the allegations that go back 30 years. We're talking about the tapes. We're talking about secret memoirs. And we're talking about the night Tupac Shakur died. Today, we are connecting the dots that the industry has tried to erase, so buckle up. Now, to understand the panic that is allegedly happening behind the scenes right now, you have to understand that Snoop and Diddy aren't just industry acquaintances. They aren't just guys who see each other at the Grammy Awards and nod. They are, by Snoop's own admission, family. Now, Snoop has gone on TV. He has sat in interviews and he has explained that his kids and Diddy kids are the best of friends. They've been best friends since they were 6 or 7. Now, this isn't a casual connection. This is a bond forged by mothers, specifically the late Kim Porter. Now, Snoop said it himself. Kim was the one connecting the families. Now, when Diddy's son Justin went to UCLA, Snoop's son went to UCLA. When Christian Combs started rapping, Snoop's son started rapping as well. They traveled the world together, they modeled together. So here is the first red flag. When your brother, someone you claim to love, someone whose children grew up sleeping over at your house, is accused of the most heinous, dark, and disturbing crimes in music history, you usually have 2 reactions. Reaction A, you stand by him. You say, nah, this is a lie. I know this man, he is innocent. Reaction B, you denounce him. You say, I have no idea. This is disgusting. I'm cutting ties. Now, Snoop has done neither. He's vanished. And this brings us to the first major piece of evidence that has people looking at Snoop sideways. It's the behavior. Remember that clip of Diddy on a talk show? He says, quote, when I die, I want my last words to be, I did it. Now, that was a crazy moment, but if you go back and watch that clip now, look at who is sitting next to him. Look at Snoop's face. He gives this awkward, knowing smile. It's the kind of smile 2 people share when they have an inside joke that nobody else understands.
See how folks just be making up stuff? Do that even sound right? It was see how they smile, it was an inside joke. Dude, you just make it send a narrative, man, for views, man. Come on, bro.
But now with everything we know about the F-offs, about the alleged trafficking and the abuse, that smile doesn't look like a joke anymore. It looks like he's being complicit. And 50 Cent knows it. 50's been trolling Diddy for years, but recently he's been throwing subtle jabs at Snoop too. Now 50 is calculated. He doesn't just attack people for no reason. If 50 Cent is hinting that Snoop is involved, it's usually because 50 has seen the receipts.
Snoop letting Diddy rub on his hand.
Look at this.
Damn. You know what I'm saying? And that's where one of the exes come from. Snoop.
Oh, can you hold it up a little bit more? Let me see how that...
And this is the evidence he got. He trying to let him hold his hand. They probably just dealt each other up. And they froze the video or whatever the screenshot is. You really think these 2 grown men, Snoop Dogg, standing up, they just holding hands? I'm telling y'all, man, that don't make no sense. They probably just dealt each other up, and this fool talking about they holding hands. And this your evidence. Come on, man.
Oh, yeah, dang.
You know what I'm saying? We don't hold our man hand. We shake it and get it back in our pocket. Snoop and Diddy.
Look how he hold it.
You know, in an appropriate way. But the reason why they in there is speak about that and with Biggie. Now, how you rolling with Pac?
Look how he holding the damn photos up. Look Brian that back. Look how he holding the photos up.
Seen the receipts.
Snoop letting Diddy rub on his hand.
He barely holding it up.
You
Watch this.
And that's where one of the exes come
from.
Snoop.
Oh, can you hold it up a little bit more? Let me see how that... Oh, yeah, dang.
That's something he got.
We don't hold.
That probably something he got off Google and put in his little book he trying to hustle to make money off of. And who is this dude? This dude ain't stated no credentials. He ain't said he worked for no company. He with Death Row. He went A&R nowhere. They just got some fat dude up here just talking with a little book he trying to hustle or something.
Our man, we shake it and get it back in our pocket. Snoop and Diddy, you know, in an appropriate way. But the reason why they in there is speak about that and with Biggie. Now, how you rolling with Pac? This is a big question for everybody. If Pac came to Death Row and he was there, he went to court with you. You're on, you know, Death Row. You're about to do some time. So, and I ain't talking about the record label, the murder charge. How do you find yourself with somebody rolling with you, like rolling with you? He bought his way out of a charge. of two white 50-year-old young ladies. You understand? He don't respect no female. The black females, he put dog chains around. You understand? So he's no better. He just got his own type of way.
Who was the exes that was taken out of the book?
The exes was for Snoop.
Oh,
yeah, it was for him, about him sleeping with, supposed to been in the bed with Diddy.
Whoa, that's
and,
crazy.
They caught it. You understand? Like I said, we call him the director. You don't sit on his lap and do what Diddy wanted to do. It's cut. You do what he wants you to do. It's action.
Now let's get to the legal side, because this is where things go from internet rumors to federal investigation. Now, recently, a very prominent attorney named Ariel Mitchell appeared on national TV, and she represents some of the victims in the Diddy case. And she dropped a bombshell that, frankly, should have been the biggest news story in the world. She said she was contacted by someone trying to sell a tape, an F-off tape. This wasn't just a rumor of a tape. She saw stills. She saw proof. She saw the video was filmed at Diddy's Atlanta home. But here's the kicker. Diddy wasn't the only star in the video. Ariel Mitchell said there was another male celebrity in the footage, and when the host asked her about this person, she said this other celebrity is more high profile than Diddy. Now think about that. More high profile than Diddy? That is a very short list of people. We're talking about global icons. She also mentioned that this person did not seem to know they were being recorded. It looked like a setup, kind of like a catch and kill type situation, where Diddy records you doing something compromising, so he owns you forever. Now, she couldn't legally say the name, but the streets are talking. Industry insiders are talking, and the name that keeps coming up over and over again is Snoop D-O-G.
So let me get this right. Just because she claimed it was a person more high profile than Diddy, you gonna narrow that down to Snoop? It could have been some white man for all you know. It could have been anybody, but just for the narrative you pushing, it was Snoop. Now I guarantee you, I'm gonna do a part 2 to this, right? I'm gonna go check out some stuff. I guarantee you, 50 Cent ain't said a damn thing about Snoop could be next. I guarantee you, watch. I'm gonna do a part 2 though.
Snoop? Well, look at the description. More high profile than Diddy. Snoop is arguably more famous globally. He's the face of the Olympics. He's on The Voice. He's in commercials for everything from beer to insurance. He is a household name in a way even Diddy wasn't. And then you have the testimony of Courtney, an alleged industry veteran, came forward claiming that he had access to Kim Porter's real memoir.
Just some nigga named Courtney. That's it. Courtney, an industry veteran, they ain't telling nobody nothing. He just some nigga trying to hustle some book and feed off Snoop and Diddy situation, like all these other folks, it seems like.
Not the one that was debunked, but the actual evidence she supposedly left behind on flash drives before she died. And y'all remember I had him on my show. Now, guys, he claims Kim Porter documented all of this because she knew it was her insurance policy. She knew what these men were capable of. If the tapes did exist, and if the feds have them, which they likely do, considering they raided Diddy's home and took everything, then Snoop's silence makes the perfect sense. He isn't quiet because he's sad. He's quiet because he is waiting to see if he gets indicted. But to really understand the darkness here, we have to go back to 1996. We have to talk about Tupac. For decades, Snoop has positioned himself as the peacemaker, the guy who loved Tupac, the guy who was caught in the middle. He tells stories about how he and Pac were tight, how he visited him in the hospital, how he loved him. But if you listen to the people who were actually there, the people who have nothing to lose, like Suge, a very different story emerges. Suge is currently serving life in prison, and he definitely has no reason to lie anymore. He's not trying
Well, Suge ain't serving life in prison, I don't think. I think he got 28 years. Hell, Suge might be out in the next 5 to 7 years. So now, Suge ain't got life. I think he had 28 years.
sell records. And Suge recently revealed some shocking details about the night that Tupac was shot in Vegas. Now, Suge says that Snoop was supposed to be with them. They had tickets to the Mike Tyson fight. It was a mandatory death row outing. But at the last minute, Snoop didn't show. He didn't go to the fight. He didn't go to Club 662 afterwards. For the first time ever, Snoop broke protocol and stayed away. Now, why? Did he know something was going to happen? Now, Suge goes further. He says that after Tupac was shot and lying in the hospital fighting for his life, Snoop finally came to Suge's house in Vegas. Tupac's mother, Athena Shakur, was there. And Suge says that when Snoop walked in, he told him, Tupac hates me right now. And then Snoop went into the bathroom and started physically throwing up. Throwing up? That's a visceral reaction. That is a reaction to someone consumed by guilt. Suge implies that Snoop wasn't that nervous. He implies Snoop had crossed the lines. And then there's the walkie-talkie story. This is the one of the creepiest details of them all. Warren G., Snoop's own family, has confirmed that Snoop was at his house that night with the police scanner-style walkie-talkie. Suge claims there were specific radios that the security team used. Now, witnesses allege that over that radio, right after the shots were fired in Vegas, a voice was heard saying, "Got him." Now, who was on the other end of that radio? And why did Snoop have it? Now, there is a theory supported by...
Now, come on. Now, I done seen every documentary. I done read damn near every book about the Tupac situation, Biggie situation. I've seen every damn interview, YouTube interview, magazine interview. And this is the first time I ever heard that right there about a walkie-talkie and somebody said got him. And they think Snoop, oh my God. Man, hey, you know, I don't believe none of this right here, man. I'm just giving my honest opinion. And then he talking about Warren G. is Snoop's family. He ain't Snoop family. Warren G. Dr. Dre family. I think he Dr. Dre, what, step brother, something like that, half brother. Warren G. and Snoop was friends. They not family. But like I say, I'm up to date on all this stuff, and it's the first time I've ever heard it about some damn walkie-talkie. So I don't know about that, my boy.
Ali Carter and other insiders that Snoop had already been flipped. That the East Coast versus West Coast war was real, but the lines were blurry. The theory is that Diddy, the Black Clinton, as some call him because of his untouchable status, had already pulled Snoop to his side. They suspect Snoop was working with Bad Boy while pretending to be Death Row. Now, if that's true, it changes the entire history of hip-hop. It means Snoop didn't just survive the rap wars. It means he might have helped orchestrate the fall of his own team to save himself. Now we have to get a little weird. We have to talk about the things that happened behind closed doors. The things that Gene Deal, Diddy's former bodyguard, has been screaming about for years. Now, Gene Deal describes Diddy as a demon. He doesn't mean that metaphorically, he means it literally. He talks about the parties with specific vibrations, specific temperatures, red rooms, and rituals. He talks about seeing Diddy participate in rituals with birds, doves that wouldn't fly, that would just drop dead. Gene Deal says Snoop wasn't just a guest at these parties, he was a participant. Now, there's a concept in the industry known as the boiled egg. Suge Knight has talked about this as well. It's a humiliating, degrading ritual that acts as an initiation. It's a test of loyalty. The idea is that if you are willing to do this act, this specific degrading act involving your body, then the powers that be know they own you. They know you would do anything for fame. Suge Knight explicitly said Snoop passed the boiled egg test. And what's strange is that Snoop has the weird obsession with eggs on social media. He posts about them. He jokes about them. To the average fan, it's just Snoop being high and funny. But the people who know the code, it looks like signaling. It looks like...
Man, I ain't... Man, dude, you making up stuff, man. I ain't seen Snoop post nothing about eggs, man. I follow Snoop on Instagram and all that, man. Let me... I might have to go look, but I'm almost for sure I ain't seen Snoop post nothing about no eggs, man.
telling the club, I'm one of you. I did what I had to do. Now this connects back to Allie Carter. She's a survivor of child trafficking who has been trying to tell her story since 2020. She explicitly named Snoop Dogg. She said, "You guys are canceling Dr. Seuss and Aunt Jemima, but you are cheering for Snoop at the Super Bowl halftime show?" She alleges that Snoop is actually deeper in the trafficking network than Diddy. She claims that while Diddy is the loud, flashy frontman, Snoop is the one who really operates in the shadows, using his nice guy image to lure people in. She calls him a predator, and back in 2020, people laughed at her. They said, "Not Snoop, he's the Martha Stewart guy. He's the weed guy." But look at where we are now. Diddy is locked up, the feds have the tapes, and Allie Carter's accusations don't sound so crazy anymore. Now this brings us to the most brilliant and perhaps most sinister part of Snoop's career, the rebranding. Think about Snoop in 1993. He was on trial for unaliving somebody. He was the scariest rapper back then in America. He was straight gangster rap. Now look at him. He's the honorary coach of the U.S. Olympic team. He is on NBC primetime. He is making cookies with Martha Stewart. He is the most family-friendly corporate safe rapper in history. Now why? How does that happen? The theory is that this is a protection racket. When you become that valuable to corporate America, when you become the face of NBC in the Olympics, you become too big to fail. The networks protect you. The brands protect you. Because if Snoop goes down, he takes hundreds of millions of dollars of advertiser revenue with him.
Man, come on, man. 93, that man was like, wait. Hell, I was a teen back then. Shit, that man was like 21 years old, man. You think a nigga ain't gonna change from his 20s to his 50s? Come on, man. Make it make sense. Come on. Nigga was that was his image, a gang banging rapper from Cali, from the West Coast. Man got grandkids now, man. Yeah, you gotta adapt to survive shit. He gonna keep doing that. That's why the man career took off, man.
Notice the timing. Every time a rumor starts to bubble up about Snoop's past, suddenly he gets a massive deal. Suddenly, he's carrying the Olympic torch. It's the ultimate distraction. Just look over here. Look at the funny dancing man. Look at the sealed indictments. But that shield, y'all, is cracking. The Diddy documentary has pierced the armor. Because this isn't just about PR anymore. This is about federal crimes, and the FBI does not care about your T-Mobile commercial. So
Alright, I'm gonna end it right there, man. It's only like 3 minutes left in this video anyway. In conclusion, I don't know if I really agree with this. Like I said, I'm gonna do a part 2. I'm gonna go look up and see if 50 Cent. I highly doubt it because it's been all up and down my timeline. I've seen this shit everywhere, so I highly doubt it, but I'm gonna look it up anyway. It seems like he's, like everybody else, just making up some stuff to get some money off this Diddy situation. Like I said, I haven't heard anything about 50 Cent saying anything about Snoop. Hell, I heard 50 Cent said something about, told Dr. Umar to shut up. And Marlon Wayans, well, I ain't heard him say nothing about Snoop. So, but yeah, I'm gonna leave the link to his Lionel B channel in the description box. Go check him out. Like this video, subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to, get these numbers up. Help me out. And peace. I'll catch y'all in this video.